Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Rakar Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well, and salutations to the Yakim that spreading his truth throughout the four corners of the globe. In sincerity, according to the Bible, we are the Hebrew Israelites, which consist of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and also you confusion of faces who look like the other nations because we've been scattered. But on your father's side goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American. You are who your father is according to Numbers 118. This is an article by Natural News, and it says, Left Wing Rag says whites are a pandemic that can only be cured through mass genocide. And it says Natural News, it says, a racist black man who writes for The Root says that white people are a virus that needs to be eradicated in order to cure what he describes as a pandemic of whiteness. Okay, now, as far as them being white, okay, they're not actually white, okay? They're different shades of red, from a light pink to a dark red color. Pink is a derivative of red, okay? Pink comes from red, okay? But, okay, in this society, um, you know, the Edomites in this society, you know, they're widely known as so-called white, okay, but they're not white, okay, they're red, okay, and what gives them their red color is the blood through their skin. You can see it, okay. Edom means red, okay. And the so-called black man or black people, so-called black, talking about you Negroes, so-called, you're not so-called black, okay? You're different shades of brown, to the lightest brown to the darkest brown, okay, for the most part, okay? And you are from the nation of Israel, okay? And you have other tribes also who are, well, originally, um, you know, the other tribes, um, they were different shades of brown too, but, obviously due to mixing over time with the other nations and, so on and so forth, now, uh, our people, they're going to look so-called white and, but, and look like other nations too, but I'm specifically talking about looking like a Edomite, you know, but, but really originally, we were all, for the most part, really, uh, different shades of brown, from the lightest brown, from the lightest brown to the darkest deep, dark brown, or what's considered black. Okay. And it says Damian Young, whose work had not been published in The Root since last July, opened his most recent piece by declaring whiteness is is as is a public health crisis. It shortens life expectancies, it pollutes air, it constricts e- e- equil- equilibrium. Salakia. I know I butchered that. It devastates forests, it melts ice caps, it sparks and funds wars, right? Because in Genesis, tells you that Esau's blessing is the sword, okay, and the fatness of the earth, which that's referring to uh, Esau's rulership, okay, being in rulership and being in the power seat, okay. Um, is he not running the world to this day, okay, from one end of the earth to the other, okay, even in these other countries, um, in some way, shape, or form, they take they take um, order from America in some way, shape, or form. America has um, influenced all parts of the earth. Okay, why? Because it goes back to the blessing. Okay, um, the fatness of the earth. Okay, so he's in power right now, and according to Job 9:24. Okay, um, it flattens dialects, it infests consciousness, and it kills people. Young contends. Young's anger and hatred is fueled by the recent mainstream media claim that a white supremacist stormed 3 Atlanta area message parlors and killed their owners for being Asian. Okay, and you so-called Asians, or whether if you're Moab or Ammon, whatever, um, for the ones of us that are in this truth, okay, you're not off the hook, okay, just because you're catching heat from these devils and from whoever else, from uh, whoever, whatever other nation, you're not off the hook, okay, because you are our enemies as well, okay. You may not be our number one enemy, okay, but nonetheless, you're still the enemy of our nation, the tribes, okay, because see, you other nations, okay, you're no different in a way when it comes to this devil because you follow right behind him in his ways, okay, so you know different, okay, even though you're not our top enemy, you're still an enemy nonetheless, okay. And it says, Young says they were victims of res of res rent Salakia of relentless anti-Asian rhetoric due to the destruction of the global economy by Wuhan coronavirus COVID-19. And it says for pointing out the alleged novel virus came from Wuhan, China, President Donald Trump was lambasted much of last year for not for not just calling it COVID-19 like the media and establishment expect. The Chinese virus originated in China, hence why many people call it that. Young, however, believes that identifying the source of this global scourge is an act of white supremacy that is leading to violence against Asian people, so called. Now, if an Asian person dies for any reason, the cause is white supremacy and anti-Asian racism. This is the latest media narrative that once aims to vilify white people, so-called white, okay, Edomites, and it says, and justify their mistreatment at the of hands or keyboards of white-hating races like Young. And it says the former president and the party of the former president can and should be blamed for this, the sudden increase of racist violence against Asian Americans, Young contends. The line doesn't stop there, though. It extends back 400 years and has tentacles crawling everywhere white supremacists exist here in America, which is everywhere. Okay, well, we're still in so-called, Edomite supremacy, okay? Okay, people have been saying that for a while now, 400 years. Okay, it's been more than that, okay, by now. Okay, so you might as well say 400 plus, okay? It's been more than 400 years, okay, because we're still in the same predicament. Um, Things are slightly different. It's more of a mental thing now. It's just not hardcore bondage. but nonetheless, it's still the same thing. We're still in bondage to this day. Okay, and I'm gonna read this part right here. I'm gonna read all of the real problem. Uh, well, you know what? That's good enough. I'm good. I'm not gonna read that. Okay, that's it. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna pull some precepts. Okay, I'm gonna get out the book of Obadiah. Okay, because the book of Obadiah, see, it pretty much has everything. Uh, the downfall of these devils. Yes, Esau is a cancer. Okay, and they have to be cut out the earth. And that's, see, one of the main things that Yahweh Shai is coming to do is to get rid of this MFer, okay? Um, but here is the book of Obadiah, okay? It has everything as far as like how they are as a people. The book of Obadiah has everything about Esau in a nutshell. So here is the book of Obadiah. Now this is chapter 1 and verse 1. And I'm going to read the whole thing through and through and close out. Now, this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 1. And it says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord, power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Okay? And a heathen is anybody that's outside of the nation of Israel. Okay? We're talking about actual straight up heathens. Okay? Not confusion of face. Okay? Because you, like I've said, you have people that look so-called white and look like these other nations. Okay? You have that. You have some people that are like, I mean, you have some of our people that look like these other nations, but they're Israelites. Okay? So this is not necessarily a color thing, but you know, um, but talking about, when I say Edom or Moab or Ham, so-called Africans, I'm talking about actual straight up, other nations. Okay. Uh, in verse 2, and it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Right? Because they go around the world stealing, conquering. Okay. And and see the other nations, they know what the deal is. They know that these people are the devil. Okay. um, they're more up on game when it comes to how they are more than our own people. Okay. And the tribes, and we actually have a history with these devils, um, a very you know a very I'm trying to choose my words carefully. We have a very long history with these devils. Okay. um, of all kind of things that they've done to us. Okay, but our people, they still don't learn. Okay. Our people are very retarded and stupid. Okay. Majority. Okay. Unfortunately, you know, I know how I may sound sometimes or whatever, but Jake, there's really no excuse, man. You just want to be ignorant and stupid, man. Like, that's why, when it comes to majority of our people, the tribes, I just can't get down with y'all like that, man. You just really ignorant, you know. But nonetheless, you're still Jakes, okay? Um, you know, that's part of the reason why we push this truth, okay? So the ones of you that wake up, you'll wake up and change your ways, okay? But a lot of you are not gonna do that, okay? You don't even try, okay? But verse 3, it says, "The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" Right? That pride, okay? Uh, Typical villain, uh, typical villain like, okay? You know how like in movies you always have a hero and a villain? Well, that's Esau, man, okay? In verse 4, and it says, "Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou shalt set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord." Verse 5. Verse 5, "If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not stolen till they've had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?" Right. Because see, with Esau, see, out of any other race on the earth, they are the worst nation ever to ever exist ever. Nobody can top them. Okay, even Jake being as wicked as they are, and you know how our people they can be great really at anything, even within wickedness. Okay, now yes, sometimes our people they can be in a way they can be more wicked than Esau, but hell, even even the things that Jake does, okay, is not even nowhere near as close to what Esau has done. Okay. Um, but yeah, that's Esau, man. They're never satisfied. They always want more, 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 more. They don't have no kind of conscience, no kind of consideration for nobody else. And that's not a way to be. And something that is like that, okay, a creation uh that is that way, that have no kind of morals, okay, that is a creation that can't last, man. That has no type of consideration for anything, okay? In verse 6, and it says, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All of the men of confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and prevaileth against thee, that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him." Verse 8, "Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau?" Hold on. Okay. "And thy mighty old Teman shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau will be cut off by slaughter." Okay. And in these last days, the Lord's going to have it where he's going to put spirit on his people, okay, the 12 tribes, um, to get at these devils. I believe it's in Ezekiel. I think I'm wrong about that. Um, Maybe in Zechariah, I think Salakia, but basically where the scripture says, uh, paraphrasing, "Against thy sons, O Greece." Okay, that's talking about um, the nation of Israel. The Lord's going to raise up the nation of Israel against Esau. Okay, and you two-thirds, you're going to get in on this as well. We're already seeing a glimpse of that a little bit here and there throughout society today, nowadays, but it's going to be on a larger scale, and it will be taking place during Jacob's trouble. Okay. Um, okay. Now, verse 10, and it says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee." Okay. Now, people in this society that are not aware of this truth, you know, even though we have a bad history with Esau, okay, and we can't seem to get along. And it's not because of us; it's because of this devil. But we're not supposed to get along. Um, a lot of people may think that we have nothing to do with each other. Okay, but that's far from the truth. Okay, we, Israel and Esau, we are brothers. Okay, we are brothers. All right, but from two different nations. Okay, but Esau is the evil brother. Okay, in this story. Okay, and always have been and always will be. Okay, um, Esau is the older brother um, of Jacob. Okay, now I'm going to read verse 10 one more time, and that will be it. Okay, so for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Now, in this context, when it's talking about forever, it means permanently. Okay, they have no chance of any kind of forgiveness. Now, see, when it comes to the other nations, after they serve us, like for 1,000 years, they're still going to be under us. They're still going to be serving us, but they're going to have their lands and they're going to be able to go back and live their lives, but we're still going to be on top as a nation, but they're going to be able to go back and do the things that they want to do. I mean, carry on, Slovakia. I mean, carry on with their families and things like that. Live, you know, um, you know, uh, to continue, still existing, still carrying on, still alive, still living, still carrying on as you know who they are, the nations. But the only thing is, the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, the laws of the scriptures. Okay, will be will be uh, throughout the whole earth. Okay, because after this society is destroyed, the Lord is gonna put His laws and what He desires is gonna be on the earth, man. The scriptures, the ways of the Lord is gonna be on the earth fully implemented. Okay, but Esau um, will be done away with completely, and that person in that article is actually in their right mind. Okay, and that person is actually on to something. The only thing is they're off about the so-called whiteness, but everything else they were spot on about. Okay, um, now I don't know. Now, um, I believe that was a Edomite man that had wrote that. Whoever wrote it, man, they're on the money. Okay, and if if that was an Edomite, okay, you got slavery to look forward to, man. Then after that, your race will be extinct. Okay, after 1,000 years. Um, and that's it for this video. Uh, Once again, I'd like to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Raquel Kodash, and double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to the Yakim that's spreading this truth throughout the four corners of the globe in truthfulness and in sincerity. Until next time, Shalom and Ababa Ball, DTA, death to America. Shalom.